Hey y'all, we are continuing our series in the second part of the book called The Shepherd of Hermas. We're in commands. We're looking at command 2 in this episode here. We've gone through command 1. We've gone through the introduction part. This is the introduction part. We've already gone through this in a few episodes. We've gone through command 1. Now we're on command 2. And it says that we must avoid detraction and do our alms deed with simplicity. Now, detraction, that's going to be one of these words I'm going to have to look up. So, I'm going to go ahead and get to looking up detraction. I done looked it up before, and I remember what it is, I think. I'm not sure, so I'm going to go ahead and look it up. Okay, looking here, look, and if you look how I'm doing this on Google, anytime you put the word define there, it'll define just about any word. It'll also translate words for you, too. But it says the Roman Catholic in Roman Catholic theology. Well, anyway, detraction is the sin of revealing another person's real faults to a third person without a valid reason, thereby lessening the reputation of a person. So it's slander. So detraction is slander. Okay, and it's going to use another word, pernicious. We might as well go ahead and look that up now. I remember how to spell it. Pernicious. Oh, that's probably wrong. There it is. What does it say? Pernicious is having a harmful effect, especially in a gradual or subtle way. Okay, it says command 2 that we must avoid detraction and do our alms deeds with simplicity. Now, alms deeds is good. It's good giving. I think most of us know that alms is like giving somebody something. And I hate to sit here and look up every word. We're trying to keep these short. All right. It says, verse 1. He said unto me, be innocent and without disguise. Okay. Be innocent and without, meaning, don't, I don't know how to say, be innocent. It says this without disguise, that is self-explanatory. I'm just running out of words to say. But, a lot of us do have a guise when we come around. We're in disguise. We are, for instance, when we don't really care to speak good about a person in their absence, but when we're around them, we all honey about the mouth. That's a bit of a disguise. That ain't really innocent. That's not innocent. That's not being innocent. So that word can get me in trouble. All right. It says, "So shalt thou be like an infant who knows no malice, which destroys the life of men." No malice. An infant has no malice. Let's look up that word. Okay, malice, the intention or desire to do evil, ill will. So a child doesn't have anything like that against you, unless you done really did something bad to that child. I mean, he's innocent. He looks at you with love. He doesn't have anything against you. There's nothing for him to hold against you. Look right, it says wrongful intention, especially in increasing the guilt of certain offenses. Okay, increasing the guilt of certain offenses. Now we put that back what it said there. Let's see. If it be innocent without disguise, so there's be down an infant who knows no malice, which destroys the life of men. And then we had that word detraction. So malice is kind of seems like when you're taking something that somebody's doing wrong, and not only are you slandering them with it, but you're going a little bit further with the malice thing. It says the number 2. It says, especially see that thou speak evil of none. Okay. The Third Testament goes into a lot about this, how our thoughts have energies, and how when we project these bad energies into the world, they come back multiplied. So, in other words, when we're having bad thoughts against someone else, or when we're speaking evil against someone else, that stuff is coming back against us multiplied. Y'all don't do nothing. Don't worry about him. Y'all, he good. Everybody know had my mother-in-law here in last class. They know we in a noisy environment. We good. Let him talk. He was in the show the other day. No, nor willingly hear anyone speak evil of others. Now here's probably the bigger fault here. It ain't so much that we speak evil. We learn that really quick that we shouldn't be speaking evil of anybody. At least we should. But we're oftentimes willing to hear other people speak evil. When we get around our friends and they start gossiping, it takes a little bit of intestinal fortitude to stand up to that person and say, you know what, I don't want to hear that. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear you talking, about my neighbor. Yeah, you want to help him? All right, let's look at verse 3. It says, for if thou observest not this, meaning if you don't do this, thou also who heareth shall be partaker in the sin of him that speaketh evil. So, there's a lot of people out here that's listening to gossip, but listen to what happens when we do. It says we are a partaker in the sin of him that speaketh the evil. Meaning once we did it, we are we're guilty too. It says, by believing the slander, and thou also shalt have sin. It says detraction is a pernicious thing. Okay? Slandering people is harmful, is what they're saying. An innocent, evil spirit that never continues in peace. Meaning if you're slandering your neighbor, you're going to be fighting with your neighbor in a minute. Or it might be not that neighbor, but remember the energies multiply. So it may come in the form of a neighbor that could actually whoop your butt. You know what I mean? The one you picking on and slander might not be able to do nothing to you, but it's a spiritual thing we're dealing with. What you take out on that one neighbor may come back, with another neighbor that's a little bit tougher. But is always in discord. It's these people you see that slandering, they're always the one that's fussing. They always the reason, you think that they're slandering because, everybody's causing them trouble. They got all these problems in their life. It's actually the opposite way around. They're having all these problems in their life because they're slandering people. Look right there in the order. It's telling you. Wherefore, refrain thyself from it and keep peace evermore with thy brother. So this is telling you how to have peace with your brother. You can unlock the peace with your brother if you stop slandering your brother. And that ain't just your brother. That's everybody. You can't just stop slandering the people that you like and slandering those that you don't like. That ain't going to work. You're still going to be in discord with everybody. It's just the way it works. The negative energies will multiply. Put on a holy constancy in which there are no sins, but all is full of joy, and do good of thy labors. Okay, and that's what this is about. Realizing the bad stuff in our life that's causing us problems. We realize in the third testament of Hermas that that sickness, illnesses, are the physical manifestation of our sin. Meaning we're sin, and we make our heart sick, and then as our heart gets sick as a result of our sin, the rest of our body gets sick too. And this is kind of some of this is the stuff that will make us sick. I don't know which illness this causes, but slander will make you personally sick. And it says, do good of thy labors. Verse 6. Give without distinction. Okay, now we're getting into the alms deeds part. It says, give without distinction to all that are in want, not doubting to whom thou givest. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of stingy people in this world. I don't need to be saying you stingy, because statistically speaking, there's a lot of stingy people in the world. You're probably one of them. And, you go down you're walking down in the restaurant with you and your buddies, and there goes some dude, shaking a cup, talking about, give me some money. What do you say? Oh, you ain't gonna do that, we'll buy some nothing, you ain't gonna do that, you ain't gonna do what you're supposed to do. No, man. It says, what does it say? It says, give without distinction. That means you don't care what he gonna do with it. It's not your business what he gonna do with it. You don't know what he gonna do. You think you know, but even if he's sitting at the liquor store steps, if that man is sitting there shaking a can at the liquor store steps with an empty bottle sitting beside him, you still give it to him. You still give it because it's none of your business. Watch what happens. Not doubting to whom thou givest, but give to all. For God will have us to give it to all. He wants us to give to everybody. He don't want us to sit up here be trying to decide who's supposed to get it and who ain't. You know what I'm saying? You looking at this person and saying, oh, well, I helped this one, because, they are bad off. But this person over here, they got a job. I'm not going to help them. They got money. They supposed to be able to. No. Or the opposite way around. This person here he's an upstanding person in the community, he's just down on his luck today, so I give him $20. Whereas this person over here, he ain't had a job in a year and don't plan on giving one, so I ain't giving him nothing. You talking about, no, you can't do that. Because whenever, I don't know if it says it in here, but if that person ever cried against you, you're in trouble. Let me go on. He said, give to all. Of all his own gifts, he said, let me restart over. But give to all, for God will have us give to all of his own gifts. I'm not sure what that means. Of his own, is it talking about the Lord's gifts, or is it talking about my gifts? They should be capitalizing that H too, but they don't do that here. They therefore that receive shall give an account to God, both wherefore they received and for what end. See, if he's, like I said, if he's sitting there at the liquor store door, you know what I'm saying? People coming out, patrons coming out of the liquor store, gotta, dodge this guy because he's sitting right there at the door. Everybody that's going in the store or walking by on the sidewalk, he's asking for money. You know what I'm saying? He has to give an account for that. Not you. He has to. But you understand that it's the receiver. So like I was saying earlier, like I kind of messed myself up. But the example I'm giving, okay, so here I come, and I'm gonna find me a bunch of people in need, and I got something to give these people. Let's say it's money. And so I go and I'm giving out money to some orphans and some widows and some Levites and some poor people and some homeless people and blah, blah, blah. But here this one dude here who is stingy. He don't want these people to have nothing anyway. He got a pocket full of loot and he's standing in line ready to receive my little $20, whatever I'm getting. He going to just add it to the money he got. I'm supposed to give it to him. Even if the money is falling out of his pocket, I'm still supposed to hand him whatever gift I'm giving, because he asked for it. He's the one he's the one who's going to be held accountable for this. Okay? Not me, he is. Verse 8 says, and they that receive without real need shall give an account for it. Okay? But he that gives shall be innocent. You shall be innocent if you give, but guess what if you don't give? You ain't innocent. If you sat there and made a judgment call, say, I was going to give him $2 when he asked it, but he looked like he had $4 falling out of his pocket, so I ain't giving to him. You made a judgment call. You're no longer innocent. And guess who's going to be held accountable now? You are. For he has fulfilled his duty as he received it from God. And let's talk about the person who gives without distinction, who gives without taking, For he has fulfilled his duty as he received it from God, meaning God gave him the stuff to give in the first place. That's why the Lord gave him to him. These people walking around with all this extra stuff, it ain't for them to sit around and throw it up in our face, ride around in a polished trucks, with the new 20s on it or whatever. No, that is not why he's giving them that. He's giving them that so they can share with other people. These people just greedy and stingy. They're gonna be held accountable for it. He says, not making any choice to whom he should give, to whom not, meaning he's not trying to decide. The person asks for it, you give it to him. And this service he did with simplicity and to the glory of God. Okay. Now, this is the person that's going to get credit. Verse 10 says, keep therefore this commandment according as I have delivered it into thee. Okay. That thy repentance may be found to be sincere. So now, can we use deduction here and say that if you don't do this, that your repentance will not be found sincere? Let me read it again. Keep therefore this commandment, that thy repentance may be found sincere. Okay. Yep, I found another typo. Why am I? Anyway. And that good may come to thy house and have a pure heart. So, this is another one of those if statements. It ain't really, it's saying if you don't do this, you ain't gonna have no pure heart. You ain't gonna have no good in your house, and your repentance is not gonna be found sincere because you aren't giving. Hermas Academy. Power, patience, continence, and faith. We teach virtue.